Wolf seen licking red-hot poker plant shows new behavior for predators, study says. In the Ethiopian Highlands, researchers documented what may be the first and only known example of a large meat-eating predator regularly indulging in nectar, nature's sweet treat. This unusual food preference may also inadvertently make them the world's only documented large carnivorous pollinator, potentially filling a similar ecological role to insects and birds in their environment. Researchers at the Ethiopian Wolf Conservation Programme recorded Ethiopian wolves, the world's rarest wild wolf species, of which fewer than 500 remain, feeding on the nectar of Ethiopian red-hot poker flowers, making them the first large carnivore species to be recorded exhibiting this behavior, according to a study published November 19 in the journal Ecology. The team followed 6 wolves of varying ages from 3 different wolf packs over 4 days and recorded similar behavior among them all in the presence of the Ethiopian red-hot poker flower. Typically, the wolf approached a stalk and licked the most mature flowers located at the bottom of the inflorescence and containing the most nectar, according to the study. Researchers noted that a relatively large amount of pollen could be seen on the wolf's muzzle, adding that they could contribute to the pollination of the flower. While some wolves visited between 1 and 5 flowers during the observation period, others visited between 20 and 30 at a time, dedicating a considerable amount of time to nectar foraging, researchers said. Since these observations covered several individuals from different packs, it indicates that this behavior is not incidental but rather widespread within the population, the study said, suggesting it could be a learned behavior. To the best of our knowledge, the observations we report here highlight the Ethiopian wolf as the only large carnivorous predator documented consuming nectar, the study said. Claudio Saliero, a conservation biologist at the University of Oxford and co-author of the study, said he first learned about the Ethiopian red-hot poker's nectar when he saw children of shepherds in the Bale Mountains licking the flowers, according to a news release from the University of Oxford. In no time, I had a taste of it myself. The nectar was pleasantly sweet, Saliero said. When I later saw the wolves doing the same, I knew they were enjoying themselves, tapping into this unusual source of energy. The Ethiopian red-hot poker flower is predominantly self-incompatible, or unable to be fertilized by its own pollen, relying on external vectors such as pollinators to achieve cross-pollination, according to the study. More research is needed to determine whether the wolves can successfully pollinate the Ethiopian red-hot poker flower, and if their presence adds value to the plant's pollination process. The Ethiopian Wolf Conservation Programme is a partnership between the Wildlife Conservation Research Unit, Wild CRU, at the University of Oxford, the Ethiopian Wildlife Conservation Authority, EWCA, and Dinkinesh Ethiopia, according to the release.
These Ethiopian wolves are some of the rarest predators in the world, making their home 3,000 meters above sea level, where winter temperatures routinely dip below freezing. Despite living in Africa, these wolves start their day surrounded by frost. The pack is led by a dominant female. This year, she has given birth to 6 pups. She has exclusive breeding rights. But she needs the help of the entire pack to raise them in this desolate land. They set off, leaving the matriarch behind to care for her young. The hunting party must band together to ensure the entire pack survive the winter months. While their American cousins work together to bring down caribou or moose, there's no large prey to be found here. They've adapted their hunting strategy. Each wolf hunts alone and brings their kill back to the den. Their territory is roughly 13 square kilometers. Splitting the pack increases their chance of finding prey. This mole rat makes the perfect meal, but will disappear underground at the first sign of danger. Barely any cover for the wolf. Creeping closer, inch by inch. No luck this time. But this isn't his only opportunity. Tens of thousands of rats live in the wolf's territory. Another target. The pups depend on him. He cannot fail. His stealth pays off. The successful hunter returns to the den with dinner, regurgitating his catch for the matriarch and her young. Little and often, this food will help the pups grow over the next 6 months, until they can hunt for themselves.
It's a rat.
Here in the Highlands, the wolf's staple diet is rodents. They are everywhere. Grass rats make a tasty meal. But they live in a colony and are hyper-vigilant. An easier meal can be found in the bigger, juicier giant mole rat. Living alone, these unusual-looking rodents rarely stray far from the safety of their burrows. The wolves employ a range of tactics to get to the mole rats. Some try digging them out. Others use their long, slender muzzles to reach into the burrow. Which isn't always successful. Patience is required. Eventually, The mole rat can't resist a leaf, just out of reach. Lunch at last.